Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're listening to the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any selection using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Critics and challenges of intersectional discourse analysis. Intersectional discourse analysis, a potent framework for examining the nuanced interplay of identities and power in societal discourses, faces substantial criticism and challenges. While it offers deep insights into how identities like race, gender, and class intersect in creating unique experiences of oppression and privilege, this approach is not without its complexities and pitfalls. Critics argue that the multifaceted nature of intersectionality can lead to analytical challenges, potentially oversimplifying the dynamic and deeply interconnected nature of social identities. This introduction sets the stage to explore these criticisms in detail, evaluating the practical implications for both scholars and practitioners, and the ongoing debates over methodological rigor and inclusivity in intersectional research. 1. Complexity in analysis. Intersectional discourse analysis offers a robust framework for examining how various dimensions of identity, such as race, gender, class, sexuality, and ability, interact to shape individuals' experiences and societal structures. However, this approach also presents significant challenges, primarily related to the complexity of analyzing multiple intersections simultaneously. Understanding and addressing these complexities is crucial for effectively utilizing intersectional analysis in discourse studies. 1. Challenges of addressing multiple intersections. 1. Theoretical and methodological complexity. Integrating diverse theories. Intersectional analysis requires synthesizing concepts from various theoretical backgrounds, feminist theory, critical race theory, queer theory, etc., which can complicate the analysis due to differing terminologies, focuses, and methodological approaches. Methodological overload. Researchers may struggle with selecting appropriate methods that can capture the nuances of intersecting identities without becoming overly complex or cumbersome. 2. Data overload and analysis paralysis. Richness of data. Dealing with data that reflects multiple identity intersections can lead to an overwhelming amount of qualitative information. Researchers must navigate this richness without losing sight of specific research goals. Analytical precision. Maintaining precision in depth in analysis while addressing multiple layers of identity can be challenging, as it requires a delicate balance between generalization and the detailed exploration of each identity facet. 3. Risk of essentializing or oversimplifying. Avoiding essentialism. There's a risk of essentializing groups by assuming homogeneity within intersecting identity categories, e.g., all women of color, all LGBTQ+ individuals. Proper intersectional analysis must recognize and articulate the diversity and complexity within these groups. Simplification in representation. In an effort to manage complexity, researchers might oversimplify the intersections, potentially misrepresenting the lived experiences of individuals who inhabit multiple marginalized identities. 2. Critics and debates. 1. Critics of intersectionality. Some critics argue that intersectionality can lead to an oppression Olympics, where individuals or groups compete over who is most marginalized, potentially fragmenting solidarity across movements. Others caution against the potential paralysis of political action when every intersection must be considered, arguing that it can lead to inaction or dilution of focused advocacy efforts. 2. Practical implications in policy and activism. Policy implementation. Translating the complex insights of intersectional analysis into clear, actionable policies can be challenging. Policymakers might find it difficult to create programs that adequately address the nuanced needs identified through intersectional research. Activism and coalition building. While intersectionality aims to foster broader and more inclusive coalitions, the recognition of diverse and sometimes conflicting interests within these coalitions can complicate solidarity and collective action. Despite its challenges, intersectional discourse analysis remains a powerful tool for uncovering the nuanced ways in which various forms of power and identity intersect in discourse. Addressing its complexities requires careful theoretical and methodological planning, a commitment to continual learning and adaptation, and a nuanced understanding of the socio-political implications of research findings. Researchers must strive for clarity, rigor, and practicality in their analysis to ensure that the insights gained can effectively contribute to social change and a deeper understanding of the complexities of human identities and societies. 2. Oversimplification risks. One of the significant challenges in applying intersectional discourse analysis is the risk of oversimplification. Critics often highlight concerns about reducing intersectionality to merely additive identities, where the complexity of how various identities interact is not fully appreciated or understood. Instead, intersectionality should be viewed as involving integrative and dynamic interrelations that produce unique experiences and social dynamics. 1. Understanding the critique of simplification. Point 1. Additive versus integrative models. Additive models. These models treat identity categories, like race, gender, class, etc., as separate and merely additive in their effects on an individual's experience of oppression or privilege. Such an approach risks simplifying the complexity of how these identities actually intersect and influence one another. Integrative models. Ideally, intersectionality should involve an integrative model where the confluence of identities is seen as producing distinct and inseparable experiences that cannot be understood by considering each identity in isolation. Point 2. Complexity and nuance in intersectional analysis. Intersecting dynamics. True intersectional analysis requires understanding the dynamics at play between different axes of identity. This involves recognizing that these interactions may change depending on context, situation, and the specific combination of identities involved. Nonlinear interactions. The relationships between different identity categories are not always linear or predictable. Intersectional analysis should account for the complexities and sometimes the contradictory nature of these relationships. 2. Challenges in implementing comprehensive intersectional analysis. Point 1. Methodological limitations. Data collection and analysis. Collecting and analyzing data that accurately captures the nuanced interplay of multiple identities can be challenging. Researchers must develop methods that can dissect these complexities without flattening the rich experiences into simple categories. Theoretical frameworks. Existing theoretical frameworks may not always accommodate the flexible, dynamic nature of intersectional identities, requiring ongoing adaptation and revision of analytical models. Point 2. Risk of misinterpretation. Misrepresentation. There is a risk that simplifying intersectional identities could lead to misrepresentations that reinforce stereotypes or incorrect assumptions about certain groups. Loss of specificity. Oversimplification can erase the particularities of individual experiences, leading to generalizations that fail to address or even obscure real-world complexities and injustices. 3. Addressing the challenges. Point 1. Enhancing methodological approaches. Mixed methods approaches. Employing a combination of qualitative and quantitative methods can help capture the multifaceted nature of intersectional identities more effectively. Dynamic analytical models. Developing and utilizing dynamic models that reflect the fluid and evolving nature of identities can better accommodate the realities of intersectionality. Point 2. Continuous learning and adaptation. Educational initiatives. Encouraging ongoing education and training for researchers and practitioners on the complexities of intersectionality can improve the depth and accuracy of analysis. Community engagement. Involving community members in the research process helps ensure that the complexity of their experiences is fully understood and accurately represented. While the risks of oversimplification in intersectional discourse analysis are significant, they can be mitigated by adopting more nuanced, flexible, and comprehensive analytical approaches. Addressing these challenges involves not only improving methodologies but also continually reflecting on the theoretical assumptions that guide intersectional analysis. By deepening the understanding of how different identities interrelate and influence each other in complex ways, researchers and practitioners can more effectively contribute to meaningful social change and a richer understanding of social dynamics. 3. Accessibility and practical application. Intersectional discourse analysis, while invaluable in understanding complex social dynamics, often faces criticism regarding its accessibility and practical application, especially outside of academic circles. The intricate theoretical frameworks and specialized language can make it challenging for practitioners, activists, and policymakers who might benefit from its insights but find it difficult to apply these concepts in everyday contexts. 1. Challenges of accessibility and practical application. Point 1. Theoretical complexity. Specialized academic language. Intersectional discourse analysis frequently employs dense theoretical language and complex concepts that can be inaccessible to those without a background in academic theory. Translation to practical actions. Translating intersectional theories into clear, actionable strategies can be challenging, making it difficult for practitioners to apply these insights in real-world settings like community organizing, policy development, or education. Point 2. Usability in diverse fields. Cross-disciplinary application. While intersectional analysis is profoundly useful across disciplines, the specific jargon and theoretical orientations developed within one field, e.g., gender studies, might not seamlessly transfer to another, e.g., public health or law enforcement. Training and education. There's often a gap in training and resources available for professionals in non-academic fields to learn about and effectively use intersectional frameworks in their work. 2. Addressing accessibility and practicality. Point 1. Simplifying concepts without losing depth. Distillation of theories. Developing resources that distill intersectional theories into more understandable and actionable forms without compromising their depth and nuance. Toolkits and guides. Creating practical toolkits and guides that help translate intersectional theories into specific actions or strategies, tailored to various professional fields. Point 2. Interdisciplinary collaborations. Bridging gaps between fields. Encouraging collaborations between intersectional theorists and practitioners in various fields to ensure that the theories are adaptable and relevant across different contexts. Workshops and training programs. Implementing workshops and training programs designed to teach intersectional analysis in a way that is accessible and applicable for non-academics. Point 3. Advocacy and policymaking. Policy-friendly summaries. Producing clear summaries of research findings that can be directly used in policymaking, focusing on implications and recommendations that are readily actionable. Involvement in legislative processes. Engaging intersectional scholars directly in legislative and policy-making processes to ensure that intersectional perspectives are considered in public policy. 3. Examples of improved accessibility. Case study application. Community health initiatives. Applying intersectional analysis to address health disparities could involve creating straightforward assessment tools that help practitioners consider how factors like race, gender, socioeconomic status, and more might affect health outcomes and access to services. Law enforcement training. Developing training modules for law enforcement that incorporate intersectional insights into understanding community dynamics and improving interactions with diverse populations. The challenge of making intersectional discourse analysis accessible and practical is significant, yet addressing it is crucial for the broader adoption and application of intersectional insights. By simplifying and demystifying intersectional theories, creating practical tools for application, and fostering interdisciplinary collaborations, the gap between academic theory and practical application can be bridged. This not only enhances the impact of intersectional analysis but also ensures that its benefits extend beyond academia, contributing to more informed, equitable, and effective practices across various fields. 4. Theoretical purity versus empirical validity. Intersectional discourse analysis, while offering a robust framework for exploring the complexities of identity and oppression, often faces debates concerning the balance between theoretical purity and empirical validity. This tension revolves around maintaining the rigor and depth of intersectional theory while ensuring it is practically applicable and accurately reflects real-world issues. 1. Exploring the tension. Point 1. Theoretical rigor. Complexity of concepts. Intersectionality is grounded in complex theoretical concepts that aim to capture the nuanced ways in which various forms of identity and oppression interact. There is a concern that simplifying these theories for broader application might dilute their conceptual rigor and depth. Fidelity to origins. Maintaining theoretical purity often involves staying true to the original principles laid out by founders of the theory, such as Kimberlé Crenshaw and Patricia Hill Collins, which can sometimes restrict adaptability to new contexts or evolving social dynamics. Point 2. Empirical validity. Real-world applicability. The utility of intersectional discourse analysis is measured by its ability to address and interpret real-world issues effectively. Critics argue that overly rigid adherence to theoretical constructs may limit its responsiveness to actual social conditions and lived experiences. Evidence-based research. Ensuring empirical validity involves grounding theoretical assertions in solid, observable data. Researchers are challenged to design studies that not only reflect intersectional complexities but are also methodologically sound and verifiable. 2. Balancing theory and practice. Point 1. Adaptability and evolution. Evolving theoretical frameworks. Allowing intersectional theories to evolve in response to new social developments and empirical findings can help maintain both theoretical rigor and relevance. This involves ongoing critique and refinement of intersectional concepts based on empirical research and real-world applications. Context-specific adaptations. Developing variations of intersectional theory that are specifically tailored to different disciplines or issues can enhance its practical applicability without sacrificing depth. Point 2. Methodological innovations. Mixed methods approaches. Utilizing a combination of qualitative and quantitative methods can help bridge the gap between theoretical exploration and empirical evidence, providing a fuller understanding of intersectional dynamics. Case studies and ethnographic research. These methods allow for in-depth exploration of how intersectional identities play out in specific contexts, providing empirical grounding while also respecting the complexity of theoretical constructs. Point 3. Interdisciplinary collaboration. Engaging diverse disciplines. Bringing together insights from sociology, psychology, political science, and other fields can enrich intersectional analysis, making it more empirically robust and theoretically versatile. Practitioner input. Involving practitioners, such as activists, policymakers, and community leaders, in the research process can ensure that theoretical developments are responsive to on-the-ground needs and realities. 3. Examples of addressing the challenge. Case study application. Health disparities research. Applying intersectional analysis to explore health disparities among different groups can provide empirical evidence of how race, gender, class, and other factors intersect to impact health outcomes, thus validating and refining theoretical constructs. Workplace diversity programs. Examining the effectiveness of diversity programs in various corporate settings can offer insights into how intersectional identities affect professional experiences and career progression, providing practical applications of intersectional theories. The challenge of balancing theoretical purity with empirical validity in intersectional discourse analysis is crucial for its effectiveness and credibility. By fostering adaptability, encouraging methodological innovation, and promoting interdisciplinary collaboration, researchers can enhance both the theoretical rigor and practical applicability of intersectional analysis. This approach not only ensures that intersectional theories remain relevant and responsive to changing social conditions but also maximizes their impact in addressing complex issues of identity and inequality. 5. Inclusion of diverse voices. One of the fundamental principles of intersectional discourse analysis is its commitment to illuminating the experiences of marginalized groups. However, a significant challenge remains in ensuring that this analysis genuinely encompasses the voices and experiences of all such groups, particularly those that are often underrepresented or overlooked even within intersectional studies. Addressing this challenge is crucial for the integrity and effectiveness of intersectional approaches. 1. Challenges of ensuring inclusive representation. Point 1. Scope of inclusion. Representation gaps. Despite the inclusive intent of intersectional analysis, some groups may still be marginalized due to less visibility or recognition in both societal discourse and academic research. These might include, for instance, indigenous populations, people with disabilities, the elderly, or those with intersecting identities that do not fit neatly into more commonly recognized categories. Complexity of experiences. The diverse and complex nature of human experiences can make it difficult to capture all aspects of intersectionality fully. There's a risk of defaulting to more commonly understood or researched intersections, such as race and gender, while neglecting others. Point 2. Methodological limitations. Research biases. Researchers' own biases or the limitations of their theoretical and methodological frameworks can influence which voices are included or excluded from the analysis. Data accessibility. Obtaining access to certain groups for research purposes can be challenging due to a variety of factors, including geographical, linguistic, cultural, or socioeconomic barriers. 2. Strategies for broadening inclusion. 1. Expanding research frameworks. Integrative methodologies. Adopting flexible, integrative research methodologies that are capable of capturing a broader spectrum of experiences. This might include qualitative methods like narrative analysis, ethnographic studies, or participatory action research that involve community members directly in the research process. Interdisciplinary approaches. Drawing on insights from a range of disciplines to enhance understanding and representation of diverse experiences. 2. Community engagement and collaboration. Collaborative research models. Engaging with community organizations and activists who work directly with underrepresented groups can provide deeper insights and facilitate access to these populations. Empowering local voices. Training and empowering individuals from underrepresented groups to participate in the research process not only as subjects but as co-researchers. 3. Continuous reflection and critique. Self-reflection. Encouraging ongoing reflection among researchers regarding their own biases and the potential limitations of their work in representing diverse voices. Critical peer review. Engaging in peer review processes that specifically focus on the inclusivity and representation of marginalized voices in research outputs. 3. Example of addressing inclusion challenges. Case study application. Study on intersectionality in environmental justice movements. Conducting a study that examines how environmental justice movements incorporate, or fail to incorporate, the perspectives of indigenous groups, people with disabilities, and economically disadvantaged communities. This could involve partnerships with local advocacy groups to ensure diverse voices are heard and included in the analysis. The challenge of including diverse voices in intersectional discourse analysis is both ethical and methodological. It requires a commitment to continuously expanding and refining research practices to ensure they do not replicate the exclusions and marginalizations they aim to critique. By implementing strategies for broader inclusion, intersectional discourse analysis can more effectively fulfill its promise of addressing the complexities and nuances of all marginalized experiences, thus contributing to more equitable and just outcomes in both academic research and broader societal contexts. 6. Methodological rigor. Intersectional discourse analysis, while offering a powerful lens through which to view the complexities of identity and oppression, often encounters criticisms concerning its methodological rigor. These critiques typically focus on issues such as replicability, validity, and the overall robustness of the methods used to analyze intersecting oppressions. 1. Challenges of methodological rigor. 1. Issues of replicability. Variability of contexts. Intersectional analysis inherently deals with complex and often unique combinations of identity and situational factors. This variability can make it difficult to replicate studies, as the specific intersections and contexts that apply in one scenario may not be present in another. Subjectivity in qualitative analysis. Many intersectional studies rely heavily on qualitative data, which can be subjective and interpretive. This raises concerns about the consistency and replicability of findings across different researchers or studies. 2. Validity of research methods. Adequacy of intersectional tools. Traditional research tools may not be adequate for capturing the nuanced dynamics of intersectionality. There is a concern about whether existing methodologies can fully encompass the complexities of multiple intersecting identities and their impacts. Operationalization of intersectionality. Translating the theoretical concept of intersectionality into practical research methodologies poses significant challenges. How researchers define and measure intersectional oppressions can vary widely, affecting the validity of comparative studies. 2. Addressing methodological challenges. 1. Enhancing methodological approaches. Development of specific intersectional methodologies. There is a growing need for the development and refinement of specific methodologies that are tailored to capture the complexities of intersectional analysis. This includes innovative qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods approaches that can more accurately reflect intersectional realities. Standardization and best practices. While customization is necessary, establishing some level of standardization in how intersectional analyses are conducted can help improve replicability. Developing best practices for intersectional research could aid in achieving this balance. Point 2. Rigorous methodological training. Training researchers. Providing comprehensive training for researchers in intersectional methodologies can enhance the rigor and reliability of studies. This includes training in handling qualitative data, ensuring ethical research practices, and applying intersectional theories effectively. Interdisciplinary methods. Encouraging the use of interdisciplinary methods can help address the complexity of intersectional analysis, drawing on diverse fields to enrich the research approach and enhance validity. Point 3. Transparency and reflexivity. Transparent reporting. Researchers should strive for transparency in their methodological decisions and data analysis processes. This includes clear documentation of how categories are defined, how data is analyzed, and how conclusions are drawn. Reflexive practices. Engaging in reflexivity, where researchers continuously examine and articulate their own positions and biases in relation to their research, can improve the integrity and depth of intersectional analysis. 3. Examples of methodological improvements. Case study application. Longitudinal studies on intersectional identities. Implementing longitudinal studies that track changes over time can help address issues of replicability and validity. These studies can provide deeper insights into how intersectional identities and oppressions evolve, offering more robust data for analysis. The criticism regarding methodological rigor in intersectional discourse analysis highlights the need for ongoing development in how these studies are designed and conducted. By enhancing methodological approaches, providing rigorous training, and fostering transparency and reflexivity, researchers can strengthen the credibility and impact of intersectional research. Addressing these challenges is crucial for ensuring that intersectional discourse analysis remains a vital tool in understanding and addressing the complexities of identity and oppression in society. Conclusion. The critical examination of intersectional discourse analysis underscores both the methodological richness and the inherent challenges faced in its application. Addressing the complexity of multiple intersecting identities requires nuanced analytical methods that go beyond simple additive approaches, acknowledging the dynamic interrelations that shape social experiences. Critics rightly point out the risks of oversimplification, which can dilute the transformative potential of intersectional analysis by reducing it to a checklist of identities rather than exploring the deep-seated structural interdependencies. Furthermore, the accessibility of this complex framework poses significant challenges for practitioners outside the academic sphere, highlighting a gap between theoretical constructs and practical utility. Debates around theoretical purity versus empirical validity reflect ongoing tensions within the field regarding how to balance rigorous intersectional theories with the demands of empirical research that accurately reflects real-world complexities. Additionally, the challenge of truly inclusive research that captures the full spectrum of marginalized voices remains a critical frontier for intersectional discourse analysis. Ensuring methodological rigor, while adapting to the diverse and often fluid nature of identity, demands continuous refinement of research methods and greater openness to interdisciplinary approaches. By addressing these critics and challenges, intersectional discourse analysis can continue to evolve, offering more robust and inclusive ways to understand and challenge the discourses that shape power and identity in society. The ongoing refinement and application of this framework are crucial for advancing not only academic debates but also practical interventions that aim to dismantle systemic inequalities. Frequently asked questions. What are the main challenges of addressing multiple intersections in discourse studies? The main challenge is the complexity involved in analyzing how various axes of identity, such as race, gender, class, and sexuality, interact in intricate and often unpredictable ways. This requires nuanced analytical approaches that can accommodate the complexity without reducing it to simplistic models. What risks are associated with oversimplification in intersectional discourse analysis? The risk lies in reducing intersectionality to merely additive categories, which can overlook how different dimensions of identity interact in dynamic and context-specific ways. This oversimplification can lead to inadequate representations and analyses of individuals' experiences and societal structures. How accessible is intersectional analysis for practitioners outside of academia? There are concerns about the accessibility of intersectional frameworks due to their theoretical complexity. These frameworks can be challenging for practitioners who are not familiar with advanced theoretical concepts, making it difficult to apply these ideas in practical, everyday contexts. What are the debates surrounding theoretical purity versus empirical validity in intersectional discourse analysis? Critics argue that while maintaining theoretical rigor is essential, it is equally important to ensure that intersectional analysis remains empirically valid and applicable to real-world issues. The challenge is to balance theoretical depth with practical applicability, ensuring that the analysis can effectively address and influence social issues and policies. What challenges exist in ensuring the inclusion of diverse voices in intersectional discourse analysis? A significant challenge is ensuring that the analysis truly reflects the voices and experiences of all marginalized groups, especially those that are often underrepresented or overlooked, even within intersectional studies. This requires deliberate efforts to engage with a wide range of communities and to consider various forms of marginalization. What are the methodological criticisms of intersectional discourse analysis? Critics point to potential issues with the methodological rigor of intersectional studies, including questions about the replicability of studies and the validity of the methods used to analyze intersecting oppressions. Ensuring methodological soundness is crucial for the credibility and impact of intersectional research. How can intersectional discourse analysis address its complexity in analysis? Addressing complexity effectively involves developing and employing multidimensional analytical frameworks that can capture the nuances of intersecting identities. Researchers can use mixed methods approaches to provide both depth and breadth in their analyses. What strategies can improve the accessibility of intersectional analysis for non-academics? Simplifying theoretical language without losing depth, providing clear examples of intersectional analysis in practice, and creating training and resources that translate complex theories into understandable and actionable insights can make intersectional analysis more accessible. How can intersectional discourse analysis maintain both theoretical purity and empirical validity? By continuously refining theoretical concepts based on empirical research findings and ensuring that theories are grounded in real-world contexts and experiences, researchers can maintain both the integrity and applicability of intersectional analysis. What measures can be taken to ensure the inclusion of diverse voices in intersectional research? Researchers can prioritize participatory research methods that involve community members in the research process, from design to dissemination. They can also actively seek out and include underrepresented groups in their studies to ensure a broader range of perspectives is considered.